This is video 43 of 101. This video is about alcohol. Hey guys, this video is going to be a little bit less fact, a little bit more opinion. I'm going to share some stories with you about my experience with alcohol, and as well I'm going to just talk about kind of the culture, how it's perceived in the world, and where I hope it kind of goes in the future. Growing up, I viewed alcohol as this special privilege where you got to drink it if you were older, and you could have fun, and it was just a little bit more dangerous, so there was more responsibility attached to it. It just seemed like a really prestigious thing to drink alcohol, and I knew that my grandfather had died from alcoholism. I wasn't super clear on that, but I knew that he had died from a combination of like smoking and drinking, just like a lot of bad habits deteriorating over time. I knew that my dad drank a lot of alcohol, especially like wines and scotches and really nice fine alcohols. I was like, oh, I can't wait till I'm legal. And then when I was like 15, I was like, oh shit, I don't need to be legal. There are just people who are legal who can give me alcohol and we can all drink it at house parties. And so we did a lot of that, a lot of drinking at house parties and getting drunk, and nights where I don't remember what the hell happened, throwing up a lot, waking up in the morning being like, whoa, what did we do? That was so much fun. And also being like, let's go get McDonald's. So that was definitely a fun time in my life. I don't regret anything at all. And then when I got into college, I had a little bit more freedom. I skipped a grade, so I graduated college when I was like 19. So at the beginning I was only 17, much younger than the legal drinking age, but pretty much everybody else was 19. So eventually I got a fake ID and I would go out at night with everybody to Toronto. It was just really fun to be able to kind of go out and be really independent and, just get drunk and wild and go crazy and go home with who knows what. And you know what, I don't regret any of those times in my life. I think they were great learning experiences, but then something happened in July of 2015, and so this is my story about how I became sober. In July, at the end of July, there was this festival that I went to, and it was a camping music festival called Way Home. And this festival was the most incredible time I have ever had in my life so far. It was just like lots of drinking, lots of drugs, lots of partying, lots of incredible music, just seeing bands that I absolutely adored, meeting incredible people. It was just a lot of fun, like the most fun ever. And coming home from that to Mississauga, suburban Mississauga, was the most depressing thing ever. I mean, maybe not ever in my life, but it was just absolutely draining. I had no energy, I didn't want to do anything. And so I just continued to drink as after this festival to kind of compensate for this lack of feeling that I was losing. So it literally got to the point where I was like cracking open alcohol in the morning when I would wake up and just starting to drink it. And it was not good. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, I feel so blah about everything. I just don't even care. Like my friends would come over and I just start drinking and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you drinking right now? I was like, I just didn't give a fuck. I just didn't care at all. And then my dad said something to me that made me kind of have a wake-up call. He's just like, alcoholism runs in our blood. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, it does. And so if I continue this, I'm gonna be an alcoholic. And I remember even thinking when I started drinking, I was like, I'll be an alcoholic, maybe that'll be a fun thing to do, maybe I'll learn something from it, which is just the most insane mentality ever. So anyways, when my dad said that to me, I was like, oh shit, alcoholism is actually a really big deal, that it kills almost 90,000 people every year in like just the United States alone. That's insane. I don't want to die from that. I don't want this to be the way that I go. I don't want to slowly deteriorate and become dependent on this substance that's slowly killing me. That's terrible. And so I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna drink alcohol. And it didn't just happen like that. It wasn't just like, you know what? No, I'm gonna be done. No, there was definitely a struggle because alcohol is an addiction. You are addicted to this substance and you feel like you can't do anything without it, and it's terribly crippling. What actually pushed me to go fully sober is I discovered that I had an overgrowth of candida yeast in my system, and so to get rid of that I had to do a lot of really restrictive cleanses, like getting rid of all sugar, all alcohol, like just pretty much everything. I remember for 2 days I just drank liquids. I just drank blended cabbage, soup and tea and water, and like that was my diet for 2 days to kind of just repair my gut because it was really damaged. After that, I remember I had like a drink or two, and my hangovers from those drinks after I'd healed my entire body was terrible. It was like 3 days long. I hadn't even been excessively drinking, and I would feel hangovers for like 3 days. It was just the worst feeling. It was like this hanging cloud of just like, oh, life sucks for just 3 days after I'd have a couple drinks. It was like, you know what? It's not worth it. If this is how I'm gonna feel when I drink alcohol now, I would much rather be a healthy person and break this cycle of alcoholism in my family and just get away from it. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go sober. I'm just gonna cut it out, I'm gonna see what happens. And I did it, and I was really awesome, and I would started telling people like, yeah, I'm just sober, like I don't really drink at all. Even like going on Tinder and people are like, oh, you want to get a drink? I'm like, I don't drink. And they're like, what? Unmatch. And I remember then in December when I started my new job, I was really nervous about going to the Christmas party because I didn't know anybody, and I had 1 or 2 drinks and of like just white wine, like nothing even crazy. And then I had a hangover for like 3 days. I just felt like shit, and I was like, you know what? This is it. I am done. I am done drinking alcohol. I have not touched it since, and I have absolutely no desire to touch it since. I've still been able to go out and hang out with friends and go out partying, which has still been fun, and it's actually really fun to do it sober because I just love to dance, and dancing is just like, it's just so much fun. And people are like, wow, like how, you must be so drunk if you're going crazy dancing with that. I'm like, totally sober, I just love dancing. And going out with my friends is actually so much fun because I get to be DD, which is awesome because I love driving, but also I get to watch them make fools of themselves, get absolutely wasted, and just sit back and laugh, and then the next morning I get to tell everybody all the crazy things that they did. So I've kind of liked to be this sober friend, and I don't mind it at all. I think it's definitely has its advantages, and honestly I'm just so thankful that my health is where it is, and I would never trade that for just like a fun night. Like I can still have fun nights, so why would I want to deteriorate my body, right? So yeah, the moral of the story is that yes, I'm sober from alcohol. Talk about drugs in the next video tomorrow, but essentially this video is not to say that everyone should go sober. Alcohol has been part of humanity since pretty much humanity civilized. You know, the Egyptians drinking their beers, the Romans and their wines. It's just like, it goes way back. So I'm not here to say that everyone should go sober and that alcohol should just be completely eliminated from the world. I mean, hey, if that happened, I don't think anything bad would come of it. I definitely understand the culture of alcohol. I understand how it allows you to relax after a long day. It helps you unwind. It helps to bond people. Like I made so many friendships by drinking and going out and meeting these people, and I mean I can't say that I wouldn't have those experiences if I went out and did that sober, because I feel like I'm still the same person. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a really fun drunk. Oh well, you can just see sober Maddie who has still as much energy and who is losing her inhibitions naturally and feels great. So my takeaway from alcohol is that almost 90,000 people die of alcoholism every single year in just the United States alone, and that fact alone is enough to say, hey, we can drink alcohol, but we're getting out of control. Alcoholism is a real problem, especially with young kids, because it's just seen as a super easy substance that as soon as you're legal, or even before that, you can go easily and get this thing. It can be super cheap sometimes, and so it's just a way for you to have this cheap legal substance that is widely accepted around everyone. It'll help you make more friends and all this kind of stuff. I totally get that. But we're binge drinking and we're not controlling how much alcohol we're drinking, and we're dying from it. We're having extremely terrible nights from it, getting our stomachs pumped. Like there's just all these things going on about alcohol. And so if we're going to be drinking alcohol, we need to realize that this is an addictive substance and it can have serious long-term consequences. And so if we're going to do it, it needs to be done responsibly. If we ever feel like we're depending on alcohol for happiness, we really need to take a step back and say, hey, this is not okay. I want to get help. I never want anybody to have to be dependent on something, and if I can help prevent addiction, it's way easier than trying to help get rid of addiction, because trust me, it is not an easy path. It makes you feel like you're getting rid of your entire life because this substance consumes your life, and without it, the rest of life just seems not worth it. It just is like, well, if I can't have this, what's the point? I have to tell you, if you think that, please just know that there is hope on the other side. There is an incredible life that you aren't even aware of beyond alcoholism, beyond addiction. It's not fun. It's not an enjoyable experience. It's not glamorous in any way at all, but it is extremely vital, and I would not take back a second of it at all. And I'm so happy that I'm at a place now where I can be totally sober, and alcohol is just not even something I think about. I know that I'm going to live way longer. I know that I'm going to feel way better. Drinking alcohol is stealing happiness from tomorrow. And so for me, drinking alcohol was stealing happiness from the next 4 days. It wasn't worth it anymore. And I can still go out and have fun with my friends. I can still have a great time. I've just learned to love myself a lot more and to just lose my inhibitions in general life, you know? Like, why do we have to be so worried about what we're doing? Like, who cares? I'll run around in the streets and sing things and oh, is she drunk? Is she on drugs? Nah, it's just mads. Whoever drunk you is, just let that become real you. You know, lose your inhibitions naturally. Learn that you don't have to have alcohol to have fun. Please share your stories with me. If you have any questions or anything, or you just need someone to talk to and you're just like, I don't know what's going on, I feel like I'm getting out of control, reach out to me, reach out to someone you trust, reach out to anybody. Just reach out, don't stay silent. Because if you stay silent, then when it's finally brought to the attention of everyone around you, it's alcohol, it's probably never gonna disappear, but at least we can recognize that alcoholism is a very serious thing that is affecting a lot of people that aren't even aware of it. If you think that, oh, when I go out, automatically just alcohol is in your brain, you might want to rethink why you're going out in the first place. Just at the end of this video is not judging anybody at all. I am no way saying, oh, if you drink alcohol, you don't care about your body or anything like that. No, I drank a lot of alcohol and I always cared about my body. I just didn't correlate like how serious it was. I just thought, hey, it's fun, everyone does it, and this culture that we have, all the music, all the songs, all the movies and TV shows that we have where people are going out and getting drunk and having all these fun times, like that's great and those times can definitely happen, but there's something serious going on behind that. And the fact that we're glorifying alcohol, I think that's really, really wrong. I really don't think alcohol should be glorified in any way. It is a very addictive, very, very toxic substance. It's something that not a single drop ever is needed in your body. Your body doesn't even know how to like process it. It just tries to get rid of it as fast as possible. I hope you have a different perspective of alcoholism. I hope you try to go out one night and just be sober and just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna take it easy. Because I know sometimes after you have one drink, it's really hard to say no to the fifth one.